Welcome to Regarding Relationships, the podcast where we dive into all things relationships. The ones we choose, the ones we're born into, and the messy ones we're still figuring out. I'm your host, Hayley, a licensed therapist, author, and soon-to-be doctor of social work. Yep, I'm almost there. I've spent years working with individuals, couples, and families, and I've seen firsthand what brings us closer and what pushes us apart. Together, we'll explore the mess and magic of human connection. So, let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm so glad you're here. I'm your host, Hayley, and thank you for making me part of your day. Welcome to Unpacking Jealousy. Today, we're diving into a topic that touches everyone, even if we don't always talk about it. Jealousy. Let's gently unpack what it really is, where it comes from, why it hurts, and how we can approach it with more compassion and honesty. So, what is jealousy, really? Well, jealousy is one of those emotions that gets a bad reputation. It's uncomfortable, it can feel shameful, and most of us would rather not admit we feel it. But let's make something clear right from the start. Jealousy is human. It's not a flaw in your character. It's not a moral failing. It's a signal. And like all emotions, it's there to tell you something important if you're willing to listen. Jealousy usually shows up when we perceive a threat to something that we value, like love, attention, connection, or status. And it often has two emotional subparts, fear and insecurity. So where does jealousy come from? Well, let's zoom out and look at jealousy from a human perspective, because jealousy is not just personal. It's biological and evolutionary. It developed as a survival mechanism. In early human history, being left out, replaced, or excluded from your group could literally mean death. So, the brain evolved emotional warning signals, like jealousy, to keep us alert to threats to our bonds and belonging. So when you feel jealous, your brain isn't trying to hurt you, it's trying to protect you. But the brain isn't always great at knowing the difference between emotional threats and actual danger. So what used to help us survive can now make us spiral. So let's talk about the many faces of jealousy, because it doesn't look the same for everyone. Here are just a few places jealousy might show up. In romantic relationships, we might feel insecure when our partner gives attention to someone else. We might also feel jealous in social situations, wishing we had the connection or confidence someone else seems to have. We might also feel jealous in professional settings, watching someone succeed and wondering why it's not happening for us. It might also show up in family settings, sensing favoritism or competition for love or validation. And sometimes jealousy wears a disguise. It can come out as criticism, comparison, or even retreat. But underneath, there's almost always a feeling of, I'm afraid I'll be replaced, left behind, or that I'm not enough. So let's talk about why jealousy hurts and its impact, because jealousy does not just sting, it can consume us if we're not careful. And here's why it hurts so much. It triggers shame. We start believing, if I were enough, I wouldn't feel this way. Jealousy also creates distance. Instead of expressing what we really need, we pull away, we lash out, or we shut down. Jealousy feeds comparison. We start stacking our worth against someone else's highlight reel. It also breeds mistrust in others and in ourselves. Unchecked, jealousy can damage our self-esteem, our relationships, and our peace of mind. But it doesn't have to be that way. So let's talk about the message beneath jealousy, because that can be a turning point. What if jealousy is not just a problem, but a messenger? Beneath the jealousy, there's always some sort of unmet need or unspoken fear. Some examples might include, I'm scared I'm not enough. I want to feel chosen. I wish I felt more confident in who I am. I need more reassurance or more connection. When we stop judging the emotion and start listening to it, jealousy becomes a mirror, showing us where we feel insecure, disconnected, or unworthy. And once we see it clearly, we can respond with curiosity instead of shame. And here are some healthier ways to respond to jealousy, because we don't have to stay stuck in the pain of jealousy. We can come from a more compassionate place. Number 1, we can name it without shame. The first step is honesty. I'm feeling jealous. Naming the emotion reduces its power and helps you stay grounded. Number 2, you can get curious, not critical. You can ask yourself, what am I feeling? What is this emotion trying to protect? What fear is underneath this jealousy? Because again, jealousy often points to wounds that need attention, not punishment. Number 3, we can communicate vulnerably. Instead of blaming or accusing, we can try expressing our real need. For example, I noticed myself feeling a bit insecure, and I just need some reassurance. This kind of honesty creates closeness, not conflict. Number 4, strengthen your self-worth. The more secure you are in your own value, the less threatened you'll feel by others. Practice self-compassion. Affirm your worth. Build the life you want, not the one you're comparing. And number 5, celebrate others without shrinking yourself. Someone else's beauty, success, or connection doesn't take anything away from you. There's room for all of us. Their light doesn't dim yours. So just a gentle reminder, if you feel jealous, you're not broken. You're human. You're wired to care deeply about love, connection, and belonging. But you don't have to let jealousy lead your life. Instead, you can let it guide you inward toward unmet needs, hidden fears, and places that need more love. Not judgment, not punishment, just tenderness and truth. I would now like to invite you to take a few quiet minutes today and ask yourself, where in my life have I felt jealousy recently? What fear or insecurity might be underneath that feeling? What do I actually need from myself or from someone else? Write it down and remember, awareness is the first step toward healing. For today's closing thought, jealousy isn't something to be ashamed of. It's something to understand. So, the next time it shows up, don't push it away. Sit with it, listen to it, learn from it, and then choose a response that aligns with your values, not your fear. Because you are enough. You are not in competition, and you don't have to prove your worth by comparing, shrinking, or performing. You just have to be real, because the real you is already worthy of love, connection, and belonging. Thank you so much for listening today. If something from this episode spoke to you, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment or share a question about a relationship that's on your mind. Big or small, your questions can spark conversations we all can learn from. And if you'd like to keep exploring these topics with me, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. I'm grateful you're here. I'll see you next time. And until then, stay curious, stay kind, and stay connected.